Guys, it's me again, Orcslayer What Ifs. Where we last left off, let's see, checking. Well, where we last left off, Deku saved Ida and went with Kamui Woods, so I just changed the lore a little bit, where he worked with Kamui Woods, just because I couldn't think of anyone that would logically hire him on, aside from maybe Endeavor, but I thought that was too easy, so I thought of a nice little way I could show some other characters and such. Anyways, as Deku went with this reporter, Ida got the talking down to that he needed, and yeah, from there it's pretty normal. Everyone else internships go along the nice way, as Deku's brought in front of the reporter, getting a private interview, you could say. It's like they don't have the cameras and such. That was a policy. They just got a nice little recorder to remember what he says. So, how was the fight with the hero killer? It was pretty quick, to be honest. I can see why some heroes would have trouble with him, though. Especially as he looks down at his leg. Especially since he could get through the suit, let alone damage my bones in my legs. I felt it. I was able to keep him down until one of the ones that he had attacked were injured, or was able to recover from his quirk, which seems to allow him to lick the blood off people, and that will freeze them for a certain amount of time. It's okay, next question. What strategy did you use to bring in the hero killer? He's sorry, I will not disclose that. It's why not? It's because if people knew some of my strategies, they could probably find ways to counteract them. It's so you use multiple strategies. Yes and no. Alright, next question, please. She's alright, how have you been in contact with any of the other big brothers aside from the ones that you're attending with UA? He's no, not really. I think we all just want to separate after that. To be honest, would you rather keep on talking to people and remembering a shitty time while you're down there? Sometimes I had trouble sleeping at night, to be honest. Next. How's your little sister? She's doing great. Next. Alright, how do you feel about the fact that you're technically close to 30 years old and still being allowed to into UA? He's well, I'm glad that they are still allow me to. I always, when I was before this, I wanted to be a hero beforehand. But it was an impossible dream considering I was quirkless. It's so you were quirkless? It's yep. I was quirkless at one point, but now mainly my abilities are fueled by Adam. Next one. This should be the final one. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I'm trying to figure out a good question to ask you. He's take your time. I got all the time in the world. That's unless Kamui Woods comes charging over here saying we need to go on patrol. It's you... Ah, yes. I heard you interned with Kamui Woods. Is that true? Yes, and that's your final question? She's sorry, one more? She's sure. How have you, how's it been working with Kamui Woods? He's Deku, takes a moment to think. It's been good, in all honesty, We both complement each other's, strategies. He's quick and nimble with capturing techniques. I'll force him into the position that they can't get out of. So it's either get captured by him or get hit with my giant drill. Or get shot in the face. Or shocked, frozen, or burned. Not shocked, thrown against the wall. And I guess that's all the questions for now. She's yes. And thank you for interviewing me. As she holds out a hand, Deku's it was no problem. Pleasure, and have a nice day. Deku walks back to the room with Kamui Woods, Midoriya, if you're okay, we need to go on patrol. He's sure, let me go grab my suit. As he grabs it, and he's still a hole. I guess I'll get that fixed later. He's Alright, let's go. Bye, Ida, as he leaves. Within another day or so, they leave. After accomplishing much, Ida was reprimanded. As news about Deku's triumph spreads, even the League of Villains, Shigaraki's like, ah, damn that brat, as he's like scratching his neck, as he typically does. They eventually make it back to school with Deku and them, just like, Deku's like, so guys, how have you been? It's like, oh, we're good, nothing unusual. He's like, what about, Deku says, it's like, tired, Midoriya? It's like, no, just felt like yawning. So, how was your thing with Kirishima? It's like, oh, it's fine by us. It's fine by me. As they're all talking, and then eventually, like, some of the other students are like, Izuku, I heard you took on the hero killer. It's like, yep. Like, so, how'd it go? It's like, right, yeah, if that reporter gets our private session out, maybe you'll hear it then. She's like, oh, this? As they, like, play it, it's like, yep, that's my voice. It's like, so, wait, you're not even gonna tell 1A? It's like, nope. Why? It's cause just in case. Like, just in case of what? I ever need to hurt you and take you down. I know that's, like, messed up for me to say, guys, but trust me, I've had my fair share of things try to kill me. From big daddies to other big brothers. Oh, you can never be too sure when it comes to these sort of things. It's like, oh, okay then. As then they continue to speak, Deku speaks with Kirishima. So, how's you guys been as they continue forward? As eventually comes to the lunchtime, with them eating, Monoma still does the whole hit him in the head thing. As he tries to say something about how he got in the way, he's like, I singly took down the hero killer. Stop it, you're annoying. Like, you came, Midoriya? You seem really tired. He's like, maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. Oh. When was the last time I slept? Oh, I slept pretty long last night. As like, hey, let's go get you checked out. As when they go get him checked out, Recovery Girl, there we go, talks about how it seems that, well, we don't know. It looks like there's some anomalies with your atom levels. It seems like they're not regenerating as they typically would. As he's like, did we got any shots of atom? As it's like, yeah, we thought this might happen with some of your abilities, but Deku's just like, alright. As he just, like, slaps his wrist, or his arm, and just puts it in. He's like, it's like, I'll stay here for a little bit. As he goes to sleep, and then he's like, well, I'm up. The hero killer must have done something to his knife. Do you think so? She's like, let me see the leg. As he examines it, she's like, oh, She like, I'll run some tests. For now, take it easy. As Deku's like, you got it, boss. And how's Eri with her studies in like health and such? She's like, she's doing quite well, learning a lot very soon. I'm guessing one of the atom abilities she has is to increase her intelligence. He's like, I have no clue what Lamb put into her. Me and Kirishima never did. Maybe they took some on their own to increase their intelligence. I don't know why though. We taught them pretty well. Anyways, let's continue forward. As they're going through this, then I believe after this is where the whole thing about the whole final exams, the pool scene, and everything comes in. And after final exams, that's when they go to Island. There we go. Forgot the name for a second. Second of them return home and such. It's like, well, I'm gonna go pass out somewhere. As it's like, alright, Deku, have nice dreams. He's like, yeah. As Deku falls asleep. While them talking about Deku is like, So, he fought a hero killer. Like, well, as they're like, alright, so how do you guys think he did? He's like, well, knowing Deku, I bet he he shot him in the leg with the shotgun or tried to freeze his leg to the ground. Probably then rushed him. I'm betting he just shot him with the shotgun shells. Or the shock slugs. Even though they're lightweight and such, they shouldn't kill somebody. It's like, yeah. Aries like, I bet he just picked him up, put him in the air, and just like turned him upside down, then knocked him out. Like, we'll ask him later, alright? As it's like, alright. As they all place bets. So when Deku wakes up, he's like, well, I'm good. As he wakes up, they all ask him the question. He's like, alright, I lured him in with a false sense of honor. It's like, your sense of honor or his? Mine. I got into his head by telling him that I wouldn't, like, stand here and fight him. And, like, held up a stance like I was gonna defend myself. Instead of going on the attack. The idiot. Then what? Well, I shot him in the leg. Wait. I froze his leg, pulled out my shotgun, shot him in the other leg, rushed him, kicked him down, and had my fist on his chest, and then I shot his other arm to, like, numb it. Sorry. Like, wow. That was pretty smart. He's like, yep. And then he stabbed me in my leg. As then they get a call from Recovery Girl. It's like, yes. She's like, it seems like, as I'll say, Deku's body has adapted, it seems that along your body, it seems like where atom veins, it's like the little how like you can generate atom now naturally to like keep your systems all right. I'll say that's a thing. It's not canon. As in, like, yeah, well, it seems like he punctured one of those, and that's why you seem slightly tired. If you come in tomorrow, we can fix it right up. It's like, all right. Also, do you know anything about these final exams or midterm exams? I forget what they're called. It's like, I forget which type of exams they are. As in, like, oh yes, well, sorry, but even the teachers are forbidden to tell you about it. As in, like, alright then, I'll see you what time. She's like, 8 would work. Sorry. As they go on with it. Deku and them train over the period of weeks. Eventually, and Deku gets his leg all healed up. He's like, is that gonna be all? It's like, yep. It's like, good then. As he stands up and is like, alright, back to class. Or 2 classes this time. It's like, yep. As they get over there and get everything sorted out. Eventually coming to a point with them fighting about going to the actual exams. Yeah. The pool and such comes after this, if I remember correctly. Sorry guys if I've forgotten some of this order. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it goes talk about that, then it comes to actual practice for the final exam, or whichever type of exam. Then after, that's when it comes to Island, then the pool, and then the mall. Then the camp. Yep. As Deku and them have been preparing, we'll cut to how Aizawa was dividing them. So it's like, so, who are you putting the family together? It's like, well, we're taking them all apart, making sure none of them can work together easily. We'll put Mina with Kaminari. She's not compared to her sibling, she's not the sharpest. Though she ranks with, top 15. Well, she's the 15th place in class, which is not very good. But from what I've been told, she is incredibly smart. She just doesn't like to study. Aries in the top of the class. So is Deku and Kirishima. As for, for those, why no? Sorry, stop yawning. Why don't we place Kirishima with Sato? Or Captain Diabetes. We could place him with them. Kirishima tends to have the, like, he seems to be one to go on the offensive much more than anyone else. Very similar to Sato. Maybe he could bring a tactical mind to Sato and get him to start thinking. As in, let's see, Eri. What issues does she have really with, like, well, she seems very timid. We need someone who's aggressive, as Midnight says, I'll do it, as it, like, as everyone looks at him, it's like, fuck it. As it, like, let's see, Sero and Eri Midoriya. And now for Izuku Midoriya. Who do we shove him with? It's like, well, Izuku seems to have a perfect time blending with everybody, but with those who he can't really get along with, sometimes seems to be difficult, especially with people who don't like him. And though there are very few that don't like him, it would still make sense to have somebody that would be difficult for him to work with. It's like, how about Bakugo? It's like, really? It's like, Bakugo seems to hold a certain hatred for Midoriya. Maybe it's because he's been whatever the word is, outshined, there we go, outshined by Midoriya on several occasions. Being top of his class, beating him in the Hero vs. Villains, even taking the initiative in the battle with the League of Villains, and maybe even this upcoming event with Stain would cause him some distress. Like, it's settled then? It's settled. As they like Izuku Midoriya and Katsuki Bakugo. Alright, as they put it down, let's send them out. As in, they're like paired up. As they're like, alright everybody. As they get the whole order, and then Deku and Bakugo are put together. Deku's like looking at Bakugo, and Bakugo's looking at him like, damn it. As Bakugo's clenching his fist, Kirishima's like, well, Deku's like, alright, you heard them, let's move it. Is there a place where we're watching this, or are all the exams being conducted at once? Oh, separate times, we'll go one by one, you understand. It's like, yeah, I do. Sorry, I keep on yawning. Deku them are watching. I'll go by through the ones real quickly. Mina and Kaminari, they do better. Mina tries to grab Kaminari and like try to jump up the walls using acid, but the Nezu ends up like causing, like, you know, the buildings to collapse and such. As she's like, how do we deal with this? As Kaminari's like, I don't know, you're the smart one here. It's like, I'm 15th in class. Think about it. What would Midoriya do? As she's thinking of it, what would he do? Wait. Deku, Kirishima would always short circuit security bots down in Rapture. Kaminari, use your lightning on the crane. He's like, what? Just do it. As he uses 1 million volts. As then the whole thing goes dumb, and they're like, oh goodness, as like they're taking off, and they're able, Mina and Kaminari have passed the test. It's like, Kirishima's like, that's the way to do it. That's my little sister. Deku's like, yep. This ain't more along our little sisters technically now. It's like, yeah, I guess you're right. We've been along family long enough. Deku then says, so how about, as then it goes from them to them to them, then eventually Kirishima and such talks with Sato. So we're going against Cement Toss, and as they look around, this place is entirely filled with cement. Alright, best course of action, split up, try to avoid combat. He can't, like, unless he finds us, it's not like he can use his cement to find us, right? It's like, yep. As they, like, take off in separate directions, so at least one of them may pass. As Cement Toss is fortifying his position, Kirishima talks with Sato, like, alright, break through the walls quickly and get to the thing. As it's like, wait, what? As Sato's about to do it, he's like, wait, the buildings. We can go up them and jump out the windows. If we were lucky, we could possibly even jump on Cementos. Like, why would we have to be up for that? It's like, I don't know. Fine, we'll just go for the exit. As they attempt this, Sato is captured, and Kirishima is able to bust through the walls, and actually uses lightning, the electric shock on Cementos, shocking him for a second, with Kirishima rushing in and putting the cuffs on him. It's like, well then, as then, Eri and Sero, as it's like, so, who are we going up against? As it's like, I don't know, I think it's midnight, right? As they're talking, it's like, we should probably try to focus on staying out of range. Like, I could try to use my telekinesis, keep her at bay and such, and it's like, alright, let's do it. As then they go to do it, and then Midnight's right there, pretty much whips Sero, like whips him, and then, like, he gets stuck, and he's like, oh, run, Eri, I'll deal with this, as he tries to launch his tape, as Midnight dodges, immediately getting in close and just, like, sort of headlocking him. He's like, oh, I got this. As in, knocked out. As Eri's like, oh god. As she starts running, she's like, run. Sorry. As she's running, she's like, oh crap. Gotta grab him. What do I do? Gotta grab him. As she's trying to think about this, Deku's like, come on, Eri. There's a way for you to do this. Run away. Midnight's a sadist first and foremost. If run away, she'll pursue most definitely. Maybe in that time you could use rocks and pelt her with them. I don't know. Stone her. Or you could try to use some of those electric weapons you have. Come on. She's like, electric weapons? She's like, yeah, I let her borrow the shotgun for this. I was saying, she did put in commission to have one. They said okay to it, but she didn't have one, so I just lent her mine. As when the time comes, she rushes by after setting up, like, rocks into an ambush. She then shoots Midnight, running in and, like, sort of tackling her, trying to get the cuffs on her. Midnight's making innuendos, as it's like, no. What was that? It's like, she's like, you gotta have to do it harder than that. As she's like, oh god, handcuffs, like, handcuff her legs. Like, my legs? Ooh. As it's like, god fucking damn it. Midnight gives me the weird vibe of Slanesh. Ugh. Creepy. Anyways, as with that over, Midnight's like, Eri and Sero have passed the test. Like, thank god. And now, we skip to Deku in their fight. Deku's like, alright then. Uraraka does develop that crush on Deku so far, so that doesn't change. As then, Deku and them are, like, preparing. Deku and Bakugo is like, so, me and you. Let's get one thing straight, is what Bakugo says. I'm taking down All Might, without your help, understand? Deku's like, that's an idiotic move. That guy has survived buildings collapsing on him. Your explosions are gonna be equivalent to a firecracker. Not much. Especially, like, if he's, like, going all out. And he is. Trust me. We know how he fights. We've seen it. And I was battered and bruised by the thing he beat. Even if I was allowed to use my drill to drill into him and kill him, that ain't gonna happen. He would grab it and break the drill, break my arm, and then crack my head open. We are outmatched in this fight. We are going to retreat. I don't mean to tell you what to do, but we both need to win, correct? And if you lose this due to your damn pride, that ain't any better. Now, I got an idea. As Deku starts drawing it out with Bakugo, we can either try to, like, get in close and use the thing, but that ain't bloody likely. I say we get underground. I can use my drill to drill underground. If this place is really realistic, it should have a sewer system if we're lucky. As I'll say, they do, as it's like, alright, sewer system, as they like got underground and then just went underground. All Might's like, where are you, heroes? As Deku and Bakugo's like, I hate this. Deku says, I know, get used to this. No, I mean, I hate running away. It's like, better to run away and live to fight another day than to die today and never fight again. It's like, that doesn't even rhyme. He's like, I know. As they make it to the thing, as when they like pop open the sewer lid, they're like about to crawl out. Then All Might's like, there you are, heroes. As he smashes Deku right in the head. As his thing shatters, his helmet shatters into several pieces. Deku feels the force as he goes flying and embeds himself into a wall. Deku's like, as Deku probably has some blood leaking into his brain. All Might just hit him with a 70%. As Deku's like, as he like falls to the ground, he's like, as he starts coughing up blood and his blood is coming out of his like green eyes, he's like, Bakugo, now would be a good time to run. As Deku freezes All Might's legs into place, as Bakugo then flashbangs him, and then Deku's like, oh, try to get over. As Deku's hobbling over to like where they are, All Might's like frozen completely still. Deku didn't just do his legs. As Bakugo flashbanged him, then Deku did the whole freezing. So Deku's just barely able to get out of the thing until he finally goes and falls over. As Recovery Girl's like, get the robotic drones out there now. As All Might's like, oh, well done, young Midor. As he sees Deku like bleeding out of his eyes, it's like, oh crap, I went overboard. As he throws off the like little weights, grabbing Deku, then blasting off. As Deku's like, as it's like, Eri, I'm not gonna be able to heal him in time. Fix him. As it's like, all right. As she heals him, but it's like, oh god, there's still blood in his brain. Gotta alleviate the pressure. So he's able to be saved. Thankfully, All Might, you're an idiot, is what Recovery Girl says. As Aries like, you went too far. He almost died. It's like, well, I'm sorry. It's like, I thought he could handle it. He's like, he's a big brother, not a big daddy. A big daddy might have been able to handle that, but he's a big brother. He ain't tougher than them. He's, like, weaker. He's much better in the sense that he can take them down more easily, but he ain't tougher. It's like the equivalent of a wolf fighting a bear. When it comes to you, at least. Big daddies are more like a jaguar or a big cat with another giant wolf, is what she explains it as. He's like, okay, I'm sorry. As Deku's like, as it's like, he'll be fine. As they all take a piece of mind at that. And that's where I'm going to be ending this one off. I hope y'all have enjoyed it. Hope y'all continue to enjoy this. And I hope y'all have a nice day, nice night, nice life.